because where better to start a new weekly reading vlog than almost exactly the same place as I finished last week's weekly reading vlog. Hello! Welcome back to another video. I'm still trying to do the weekly reading vlog thing. It is now Tuesday the 9th of January. I was going to start the vlog yesterday, but I didn't see the point because I hadn't done any reading until I went to bed. So here we are on a Tuesday, except now I didn't even bring it with me. I do have a reading update because this morning I finished Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn. I feel like I've been talking about this book for ages, and then I did the maths and I have been reading it for almost exactly a month. So it took me a while to get through that one. I finally finished the audiobook for Bloodmarked. I was really starting to enjoy it more than I enjoyed Legendborn, and then all the plot actually started to come together and it just got confusing again. There's so much terminology, there's so many characters. I want a glossary, and I shouldn't need a glossary to understand a YA fantasy book. It's so unnecessarily long. The font was so small, so it remained a 3-star read. I'm intrigued enough and I like the story enough to want to read the sequel, even though that's not coming out for another year. But so far I'm not really getting the hype on this series because it's so... maybe I'm just not intelligent enough to read it. Maybe that's what I'm learning about this, but I'm finding it very overly complicated. But in finishing that means I finished my current physical and audiobook read, so I get to start 2 new books, and I chose both of them in last week's vlog. The physical book I will be starting this evening is The Principle of Moments by Esme Giacomi Pearson, which is this beautiful Illumicrate edition. This is the December Illumicrate book with these wonderful sprayed edges, so that's on my January TBR. And then the other book that I did just start listening to because I just met a friend for lunch, which was very nice, and it was a half-hour drive there and a half-hour drive back, so I tried to get some audiobook listening in. I started listening to The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, and so far I'm confused. The audiobook is really quiet, so to hear it over my car engine I had to turn it up almost to max volume, and with the amount of male characters, a lot of the voices are quite deep, and I think those tones get kind of swallowed up by the engine, so I find it hard to listen to when I'm driving. I only listened to not even an hour of it, and it's a 28-hour audiobook, so I definitely haven't listened to enough to pass judgment, but for now I am confused, and I think I'm going to struggle to listen to this one without a physical counterpart to read, but it's fine. I'm not disliking it so far. So that's the reading update. I finished Bloodmarked, I've started Name of the Wind, and I'm going to start The Principle of Moments tonight. So it is Thursday, and I know I've not updated this vlog for a few days. Well, on the one hand I've not done a ton of reading, and on the other hand I've just really not felt like it, and I didn't really feel like I had anything to say, so I didn't want to turn on the camera and talk for the sake of it. My foundation powder is so low that I'm literally just trying to make the most of these crumbs, so we'll see how well that goes. I didn't update the vlog for a while because I think when I introed the vlog on Tuesday I'd started reading my new audiobook, and then Tuesday night I was so tired by the time I got to bed I actually didn't read anything else, so when I normally would have updated on Wednesday I didn't actually have anything to say. Then on Wednesday, yesterday, I listened to a little bit more of my audiobook, and it's all starting to make a bit more sense now. I'm over 2 hours into the 28-hour audiobook that is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, and like the first 4 chapters I think were told from alternating perspectives, and now those 2 characters have met, and it's the kind of what will be the plot is starting to reveal itself a bit more. And then I did also start reading The Principle of Moments by Esme Giacomi Pearson, but it's written in a very literary style, which is a style that I can't generally comprehend. So so far, again, I'm really not very far through that at all. I read maybe 15 pages last night before I fell asleep, but it's also really long. It's like 550 pages long, I think. I think with both of the books I'm currently reading, I'd like to be able to co-read them, but The Principle of Moments isn't available as an audiobook at my library, and I don't really want to use an Audible. I don't have any Audible credits to use, and I don't really want to spend any more money on it. And The Name of the Wind isn't available on Kindle Unlimited or from the library or any of the other resources I would get an ebook or a physical book. so I can't co-read that either. So I'm struggling a little bit with both of them. Now that I've listened to a bit more of Name of the Wind, I think I'll be alright. But I had to slow it down. When I was reading Bloodmarked, I ended up listening to it on either 1.75 or 2 times speed, which is the fastest I've ever listened to a book, because I'm normally a 1 times girly. And I tried to listen to it at that speed with The Name of the Wind and just couldn't comprehend it, so I had to take it back down to 1 times speed, which is fine, but it's just, obviously it's now going to take me the full 28 hours when I was hoping that I could knock a bit of time off by listening to it faster. Thursday, today I'm actually filming my midweek video for the 2nd time today, because I did try filming it on Tuesday, but I just didn't really know what I was doing, and when I tried to edit it yesterday it just didn't sound right and it didn't sound very good and I wasn't very happy with it, so I'm going to film it again today, hence why I'm actually putting some makeup on. And then yeah, we've not got really much anything else planned for today, so I think that's all of my reading updates. I thought maybe I would film the entirety of my makeup, but I've said everything I want to say whilst doing my foundation, so rather than dragging it out for the sake of it, I'll just come back another time. It's now Friday night, but technically Saturday morning. It is 14 minutes past midnight, but I'm still calling it Friday night. And in terms of a reading update, I listened to a bit more of what's it called, The Name of the Wind, on Wednesday when I was driving to and from my ballet class. I have slowly been trying to get through The Principle of Moments by Esme Chikiemi Pearson, but this is chunky and it is very literary, so I feel like I have to read everything twice just to understand it, and it's taking a bit too much brain power, but I want to power through it because this is the kind of book that I never have the energy for, so I might as well try and power through it now. But last night my anxiety kept me awake until approximately 4 in the morning, so rather than sitting and aimlessly scrolling through my phone, I started reading on my Kindle With This Kiss by Carrie Hope Fletcher, which is my way of using Kindle Unlimited to get through my physical TBR, but also making the most of having Kindle Unlimited, because I do own a physical version of With This Kiss, but it's also on KU, so absolutely making the most of that. And I read, I think it was about 40 odd pages or something. I've been reading bits and bobs throughout the day, because that's what I love about Kindle, is that I can sync it with the Kindle app on my phone and carry on reading there. There we go, I'm now 19% through With This Kiss by Carrie Hope Fletcher. I'm not enjoying it. I don't think, it's very wishy-washy. It's written like, I don't want to be super critical, but so far the writing style feels a lot like fan fiction. And what I mean by that is that some fan fiction is incredibly well written, but your generic everyday fan fiction is written by people who aren't writers. And I think that's what I mean, or at least that's what some people mean when they use it reads like fan fiction as like a criticism of a book. And as someone who spent a lot of their teenage years both reading and writing fan fiction, I think fan fiction absolutely has a place in culture in the 21st century. But when I say this reads like fan fiction, I mean like it reads like someone who isn't a professional writer. I don't know what it is. I don't really know what's happening. I know that there's a kind of magical realism element. It's all just, considering I'm 20% through, I should probably know what the plot is going to be. And we know who the main love interest is, but she's already kind of reluctantly in love with him. So it's all, yeah, I don't really know what's happening. I will update at some point over the rest of the weekend, but I don't know when that will be. I'm not going to pretend I'm consistent with this vlogging thing. I really am not. I really thought I'd filmed an outro clip for this vlog, but it turns out I didn't do that. Because what happened is that Friday night, the night before that, I'd woken up at 1 AM and not been able to get back to sleep till 4 AM, so I envisioned another night of not being able to sleep. But what happened is I read maybe 30 pages of The Principle of Moments and then fell asleep for the whole night, which was good but unexpected. And then on that Saturday my mum came over to visit, so I didn't even think to vlog because I was with her. And then Lucas got back from his job about dinner time, so I spent the evening with him and then the whole of Sunday with him. and I don't think I read a particularly staggering amount. I just continued reading The Principle of Moments. And then on Monday I was like, right, I'm gonna make this week's vlog more exciting. So I was filming a little montage for the intro for next week's vlog. If that's not going to entice you to come back next week, I don't know what will. And what I intended to do was sit down and film an outro clip for this vlog, and then later in the day film an intro clip for the following vlog. But what I did was film 2 intro clips instead. Here we are, approximately a week after I finished filming for the vlog that you've just finished watching, making the outro. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm still figuring this out. I'm very aware that this vlog was really boring. I'm trying to make these videos more engaging. What I will definitely do is film an outro clip for the rest of the weekly reading vlogs that I make. I'm learning from this mistake. As a little reading roundup for this week, I finished Bloodmarked. I started The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss as my new audiobook. I started The Principle of Moments by Ismee Jackiemi Pearson as my new physical book, and I also inadvertently, kind of accidentally, in a midnight haze, started reading With This Kiss by Carrie Hope Fletcher on my Kindle. So I finished 1 book, started 3 more, and then forgot to end the vlog. That's that for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you next week for a definitely much better filmed weekly reading vlog. And another video, because I've managed 2 videos a week for several weeks now, and I'm very proud of myself. There we go, that'll do. Okay, bye!